History is a puzzle, and most of the time, the pieces fit together just right. We find a Roman coin, we know it's from the Roman era. We find a dinosaur fossil, we know it's millions of years old. But what happens when we find a piece that just doesn't belong? I'm talking about objects that seem to scream, "I'm from the wrong time." These are known as out-of-place artifacts, or OOPArts, and they challenge everything we think we know about our past. Take the Klerksdorp spheres, for example. These are small, metallic-looking orbs, some with perfectly concentric grooves etched around their equator. Miners in South Africa have been digging them out of a pyrophyllite deposit for decades. The geological dating of this deposit? A staggering 2.8 billion years old. That's long before even the simplest multicellular life appeared on Earth, let alone intelligent beings capable of crafting grooved spheres. Geologists have proposed natural explanations, like concretions, but they struggle to account for the perfect symmetry and the precise grooves. It's like finding a smartphone encased in amber from the time of the dinosaurs. Then there's the Koso artifact. In 1961, 3 rock hunters in California found a geode-like rock. When they cut it open, they didn't find crystals. Instead, they found what looked for all the world like a modern spark plug. It was encased in a layer of hardened clay, petrified wood, and a hexagonal copper casing. Geologists who examined the rock estimated its age to be around 500,000 years old. That's 500,000 years before humans were supposed to be tinkering with internal combustion engines. X-rays revealed a tiny spring and a metallic pin inside, components eerily similar to a 1920s champion spark plug. Skeptics immediately cried hoax, but the original discoverers swore by their find. The artifact itself has since vanished, adding another layer of mystery to the story. We also have stories like the one from 1852, reported in Scientific American. A blast in Dorchester, Massachusetts, broke apart a solid rock that was 15 feet below the surface. Amidst the debris, workers found a metallic, bell-shaped vessel, about 4.5 inches high. It was made of a zinc-silver alloy and had exquisite floral designs inlaid with pure silver. The rock it was blasted from was estimated to be 600 million years old. A 600 million-year-old vase? How is that even possible? Conventional history and archaeology often dismiss these finds. They're labeled as hoaxes, misinterpretations, or natural formations that just happen to look man-made. And let's be fair, some of them probably are. The human desire for fame and mystery is a powerful thing. But can every single one of these anomalous artifacts be explained away so easily? What if we're looking at this from the wrong perspective? Here's a thought that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. But what if it's the most logical explanation? What if these objects aren't from an ancient lost civilization from our past? What if they're from our future? Think about it. Time travel. Not as a movie plot, but as a potential reality. If humans, or some other intelligent beings, one day master the ability to travel through time, wouldn't they visit the past? They'd be like cosmic tourists, explorers or historians, stepping back into bygone eras. And when you travel, what happens? You lose things. You drop your keys. Your phone slips out of your pocket. Maybe a piece of your equipment breaks off. You might not even notice it's gone. For you, it's a minor inconvenience. But for the past you left it in, it's a world-shattering anomaly. A modern tool dropped in the Cretaceous period, a piece of machinery left in the Precambrian. A simple household item that gets buried and fossilized for millions of years, only to be discovered by a shocked future or present. This theory neatly explains why these artifacts often appear to be so advanced for their supposed time period. The Koso artifact wasn't made by prehistoric humans. It was dropped by a time traveler whose vehicle, maybe some kind of temporal ATV, broke down. Those Klerksdorp spheres? They could be something as mundane as futuristic ball bearings or a child's toy, lost during a trip to see Earth's primordial soup. The Dorchester vase could have been a souvenir, a thermos, or a decorative piece that fell out of a temporal tourist's backpack. This idea also explains why there isn't more evidence. Time travelers would likely operate under a strict code of non-interference, a kind of temporal prime directive. They would try their best not to leave a trace, but accidents happen. The evidence we find would be rare, isolated incidents, the exceptions that prove the rule. We wouldn't find entire cities or sprawling technologies, just the occasional lost object, a breadcrumb trail scattered across billions of years. The scientific establishment is understandably resistant to this idea. It's not testable, it's not falsifiable, and it opens a Pandora's box of possibilities that defy our current understanding of physics and causality. It's easier, safer, to stick with what we know and label these objects as unexplained or misidentified. The power of established evidence, the carefully constructed timeline of history, is immense. It's the bedrock of our understanding. To suggest that it's flawed, that pieces have been inserted from the future, is to challenge the very foundation of science and history. But is it truly unscientific to consider all possibilities, no matter how outlandish they may seem? True scientific inquiry demands an open mind. When evidence repeatedly contradicts a theory, we're supposed to question the theory, not just discard the evidence. The forbidden truth here might be that our linear perception of time is just that, a perception. History might not be a straight line from past to future. It might be more like a tangled web, where threads from the future can occasionally loop back and touch the past. These OOPArts force us to ask a profound question. What is more likely? That our entire understanding of geology, evolution, and human history is fundamentally wrong? Or that time is not the one-way street we believe it to be? The idea of time travelers accidentally seeding our history with their lost belongings is a wild one. But in some ways, it's a more elegant solution than trying to explain how cavemen could have manufactured spark plugs. It transforms these artifacts from mere curiosities or hoaxes into something much more significant. They become potential physical proof that we are not alone in our timeline. They are echoes from the future, whispers of what is to come. Perhaps one day, our own descendants will look back at our time, maybe even visit it, and one of them might just carelessly drop a smartphone, leaving it to be discovered by archaeologists a million years from now. They'll be left scratching their heads, just as we are today, wondering how on earth a 21st century device ended up in a stratum of rock from their distant past. The debate over OOPArts is a clash between evidence and established belief. It's about whether we're willing to follow the clues, even when they lead us to a place that shatters our view of the world. Are these objects just geological oddities and clever fakes? Or are they the lost luggage of time travelers, the true forbidden history of our planet? The puzzle pieces are on the table. How we choose to assemble them will define our understanding of reality itself. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time. What do you think? Are these artifacts from a lost past or a visiting future? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this exploration into the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you next time.